Hello, everyone. We are the two Unholy Healers. Thank you for joining us again. I am Colleen O'Brien. This is Keryn S. Lee. And today our topic is demons, entities, and spirits. Oh my. And forgive me if, Karen's laughing because I'm saying it like I'm George Takei. Oh my, right? Like, really, we were trying to emulate more of that, the Wizard of Oz, lions and tigers and bears, oh my, right? Because a lot of people fear these things. And, sometimes that fear is fun and good. We were talking about there's a lot of drama involved in this. Karen's got some great stories about some demons that she's interacted with, and we can't wait to share them all with you. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us. If you're here, somebody's already commented. Awesome. Hi, Hannah. Hannah, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Hannah is going to be one of the healers with me in the Heal-a-thon that is coming up later on this month. So I'm really pleased for you to be here. Awesome. So thank you all. All right. So take it away, Karen.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. And hello. Yes, so lots of interesting stories about demons. And we have, Colleen has done many healings with me in stuff in relation to demons. And here's the thing, I am super good at clearing demons. And I seem to, not so much now, I get it sometimes, but a couple of years back, I was really attracting a lot of people that had a lot of crazy going on because of demons and stuff. So I was like the demon slayer. And I had literally underlying beliefs, subconscious beliefs of, I have to be the demon slayer. I had one about being a demon eater. I had one about I have to slay demons to show my devotion to God. Like there was a whole lot of these underlying belief systems, many of them related to past lives as religious things, as a shaman, where literally we would take energy into our body as a way to release it. So one of the things that happened a year and a half ago was, after doing this really, really difficult healing for this lady, I actually took on some of these energies. I took on some, hi Catherine, I took on some interesting energies from her, which I'd never done before. And so that's when Colleen got a message it was about 11 o'clock at night at my time, because I just thought, man, I can't go to sleep with this crazy going on. Who can I ring that will be awake at this time? So Colleen was the one. So she worked on me for a couple of hours to clear all of this crazy. But what came up was, why did this happen? Why did I actually take this energy on? And one of the things that has come up since then was very much about choosing to release a lot of those underlying deeper belief systems that I would not known that I had if I did not actually take on that energy. So while it was not fun at all, it was definitely something that has contributed to my life through the awareness that I've gained from it. Hi, Stacey. So thanks, guys, for joining us. So yeah, some interesting things have happened, but I think one of the points that Colleen and I really want to make today is that demons, entities, waywards, fallen, whatever they are, they're just beings, just like we are, that they hang out and they do crazy stuff just like people do. But there's nothing to be afraid of. People tend to make them greater than they are. There's nothing great about them. They're just another energy to clear. And if you approach it from that perspective of, okay, Creator, what do I do to clear this? Or whatever modality you're using, use your tools to just clear another energy without having a point of view about it being good or bad. Take the fear and drama out of it and just do what you know how to do to actually release that energy. Because the less drama you make of it, the less you'll put your client into drama or fear or something like that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. When people try to make the demon or whatever this lower vibrational energy is, greater than themselves. And it reminds me, again, Stacy, thank you so much for being here. It was something that I was talking to Stacy yesterday, and I had said, I was like, oh yeah, we're going to talk about all, the demons and the fallen angels and all, like all this stuff. It's really not that big a deal. Like, it's not that big, fat, or hairy deal, right? And he just laughed, because we are powerful beings, and we have creators got our back, right? Like, there's no reason why we can't deal with these. But some people, they kind of white knuckle it. So yeah. Thank you very much, Hannah. Hannah says she's been clearing a lot of them lately. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, there's been I find that there are phases, right? Like, I'll have a lot of clients that have a lot of fallen or a lot of demons, or even myself, and then I'll go through a lull. So I don't know. Yeah. Have you found that, Keryn? Like, that sometimes they just come in waves?
Yes. And sometimes that wave will be like every person that comes in, you're doing all this demon clearing. And like, it's, sometimes it's hard work energetically, because if that person's hanging on, like, let me give an example. Cleared a demon for a lady the other day, and when I first asked for it to be released, it didn't clear. So sometimes that happens. You've got to go through a couple of steps to facilitate that. And at one point I said to the lady, what do you love about keeping this demon? She said, it's my friend. And that sounds crazy, but what happens is sometimes these beings are taken on, perhaps as a child who is lonely and wants a friend. The child doesn't see it as, oh, this is a crazy demon, because they project an energy that might be conducive to, well, I'll help you feel better. And so the child takes that on, and then years later forgets it's even there until it comes up again. So there's reasons why people sometimes take things on like this. Trauma is another thing as well, where we sometimes take these energies, these lower energy beings on. So sometimes you might have to go through releasing that perception that the person has of what a friend is, and that they don't need a demon to be their friend, and that type of thing, before you can actually clear the energy. So it's not that they're it's not that I can't do this, it's too strong, it's too powerful. It's like, no, you just have to find out what's actually holding it in place. What do you need to clear to release it? So yeah, Hannah says, yes, friends, support, protection. Exactly. So, and it's interesting, because one time I remember asking the lady, I was working with a lady who's very aware, and I said to her, okay, is that demon gone now? Because I could feel something, but it had shifted, but I wasn't 100% sure. And all I heard was, and I'm like, did you say something? She's like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay. So the demon just gave itself away and let me know that it was still there. So they're kind of funny sometimes as well. Like, they're interesting.
Yeah, I love that story, which is why I I'm just like losing it here, because I know what's coming. Yeah, because demons, they are, sometimes they're kind of stupid, but sometimes they trip themselves up with their trickery. Right?
Yes.
Hi, Jennifer. So thank you so much for joining. So, they have an agenda, right? And so sometimes they will try to make you think that they're something that they're not, think that they're benevolent, right? And that's why something like the class of you and the creator, or simply having that discernment of like, hey, where is that message coming from? Yeah. What does that energy feel like? Is that really for your highest and best? Mm-hmm. And having that discernment and knowing like, hey, you know what? Like, this isn't for my highest and best. So let me work, why am I attracting it? And then how am I ready to send it away?
Yeah. Yeah. And here's another thing. Let's talk about what are some of the tells, like some of the things that you see or feel when there's demons around, or fallen or whatever, because I know you seem to pick up a lot of fallen as well, or not pick them up, but perceive them in people.
No, I do pick them up. I carry a lot of them. And I did have a healing friend of mine, because it's so important as healers to have your own healer, right? We can all heal ourselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You've got to have your go-to people. Like Keryn and I go to one another. I've got other people that I swap with. And my friend Tanya, who is in Germany, she's amazing. She at one point, she's like, Colleen, like maybe you should like instead of just clearing all these fallen, like maybe you should ask like, why do you get them all in the first place?
Yeah.
What is this really all about? And I was like, yeah. And I did, and I tuned in and I asked creator, and I was like, why? Because a lot of it is, I gotta, if any of you have done my you versus the creator practice group, which I think I'll probably do again in the 2022, it's all about that, being a soldier, soldier soul, and fighting against God and suffering and all the holy war stuff. And so taking on those fallen is part of that, those soul agreements and attachments that I have it's all fifth plane stuff. And when I asked creator, I was like, well, why did I agree to all of that? And he's like, well, because that's the fastest way for you to learn. Like, it might not be the fastest way for somebody else to learn, but that was the fastest way that I like to learn. And I like things fast. And I was like, yeah, okay, creator, that tracks. Like that. Yeah, that's true. That's totally me. So yeah. And for those of you who are watching, because I know a lot of you are healers, what are the tells that you find when, like, how do you know when you're dealing with a lower vibrational spirit? Because I know you guys, it's come up for you guys before too. One of the great, go ahead.
I know for myself, one of the things is I will often cough, or sometimes if I'm getting a little bit foggy in the head, like it's a bit hard to concentrate, that's another thing that usually either of those will signify a demon for me. And sometimes, you just know, or you might perceive it, but if I'm getting something physical, they will be the two main tells for me. So do you get something physical as well, Colleen?
Sometimes, often it's really just with the muscle testing. I got a great tip from another theta healing instructor, Fred Salzman. I'll totally give him the shout out because he's one of the few people who's local to me who teaches theta healing. That when you're muscle testing, you're testing on all the levels in theta healing. If you go through and then you test again and things flip, you're like, oh wait, it was yes on core and no on genetic, and then now it's no on core and yes on genetic. That's usually an indicator that there's something messing up your muscle testing there. So that's a great tell. But sometimes I'll even just test, like after I go through all the stuff. I just sort of do that brute force, okay, this is a core, genetic history, soul, there's an oath vow or curse, there's an energetic tie, this is a trauma, shock, cellular trauma, this is drama, this is a fallen, this is a demon, this is a, just go through and test all of them. And so sometimes I just kind of include it in like this litany of tests. And that's a great way to know too, as well.
Excellent way to double check. And Hannah's just saying foggy, irritability, getting cranky and short-tempered. Yes, beautiful. Another thing I notice is sometimes when, if I'm asking a client questions and they start answering with weird stuff, or they start saying, I don't know, I can't tell, they start losing their ability to tune into their own awareness, like, okay, demon, something, entities, something like that. Hannah also says if I...
Oops, sorry. I think we both clicked on it at the same time. We both have access to the controls, and if we both, it's a toggle.
Is there some entities?
It's the joy of live podcasting. Yes. So Hannah says if she's seeing clients coming in with them, she'll test herself as well. That's brilliant, right? Because that's something that you've experienced, that sometimes the entity will jump, right? And some into you, and sometimes that's a fifth plane shamanistic thing where or you've got some sort of oath or vow to take on somebody's stuff.
I'm having to train myself to stop doing that. I'm working on that one.
But to go back to what you were saying, when some people they respond really weirdly, you were working on me one point, and we got to the bottom belief, and instead of saying I am whatever, it was you are, and it was like, you are wrong, you are evil, and it was just like, oh, that's not me, right? It was whatever this thing was attached to me that was speaking.
That is a great way to let people know, just in their general everyday lives, if they're not healers and stuff like that. If you're hearing stuff in your head like, oh, I can't do this, blah, 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 that's you. But if you're getting a voice, you can't do this, that's not you. So that often can be sort of entities, demons, whatever. So they definitely like to put that stuff in your head to influence what you're thinking. Right down to getting you to stop taking medications, or, oh no, not going to go to see the healer. No, I don't. You don't need to go see the healer, because they don't want to be cleared. They like hanging around. They like having a host to clear
Yeah,
to
and
hang
spirit specifically too, right? If you're, craving something or addicted to something, they want to keep you in that energy. They are going to want to, even if you try to, improve your behaviors and you want to change what you're eating or drinking, like you've really got to make sure that anything that's connected to that and benefiting from that, from your energy of being addicted and consuming all of that, that those get cleared as well as whatever beliefs are entangled in them and keeping them there.
Absolutely. And they love hanging around people that are, drink a lot, alcohol and drugs, seedy kind of places, low energy kind of places. That's where they thrive, because that's where people are in that lower vibration. They're often in fear and drama and trauma, and that type of thing. So they love that energy because that really kind of resonates with where they're
Yeah.
at.
Yeah. They're hunting and they're easy prey, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we've got some other great things here. Jennifer says that if she has someone who repeatedly cancels, she scans and clears them for a wayward or a fallen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
See,
idea.
that's exactly what Keryn was talking about. Like, they don't want to be cleared. So they are gonna like twist themselves into knots and create a reality where they can stick around with whoever they're attached to. Yeah.
And
Brilliant.
you've got someone that is kind of infested with these things. I had one guy who had a lot of mental health issues, and he came in. Honestly, I don't know how he made it to my healing place and what happened since, because I've never seen him since. It was just one of those randoms that just show up. But man, we did some work that day to clear all of this crazy he had going on. And he literally smelled bad. Like, I had to clean everything in the studio after. He had extremely bad, like his hair was like really bad hygiene, really bad mental health issues. And when he left, after clearing all that the stuff, his eyes had changed from this dark, murky color to beautiful, clear blue. And his whole face changed. And it's like, man, these demons fairly impact people sometimes, even to physical issues. Like, I've worked with people who have had infections, urinary tract infections, stuff like that. You clear the demon and the infection goes. Like, they create inflammation and all sorts of stuff in the body. It's phenomenal, really, isn't it?
Well, and that sort of, speaks to, our ancestors before germ theory, before modern medicine, things that they couldn't understand, they would blame on demons, blame on spirits, right?
Yeah.
And, some of that is still true, right? And a lot of times when you read, if you're reading, bacteria or viruses or things that are, wreaking havoc in the physical body, they have a consciousness and they will sound sometimes like a demon.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we have spent like 18 minutes talking about demons, because what a fun subject. Let's talk a little bit more about the entities, spirits, and fallen. So entities are basically, to me, just beings who have passed over, like waywards, lost souls, spirits that hang out. They could be ancestors, all sorts of things. The thing with entities is they can be disruptive. They can try to help, and sometimes they can actually contribute. Like a guy I know who loves antiques, likes to talk to the entities around the things that he's going to buy, to find out what is the history behind this piece. Is it a real antique? All that sort of stuff. So he uses these entities as a way to contribute to something that he loves to do. So it's not that they're all bad, but if they're negatively impacting you, then they may need to be cleared.
And I love the air quotes that try to help, right?
Yeah.
Especially Especially when you think of them as like wayward spirits, or perhaps ancestors who haven't quite gotten to the fourth plane yet, or really kind of know what's because God, we all have those family members who are like, oh, let me do it this way, I'm gonna help you. And to kind of think of an entity as that, like, oh, their heart's kind of in the right place, but God, they're just not hitting the mark. Like, this really isn't helpful at all.
Yeah. And especially if they've had an illness. Like, there was a lady once who had, her mum had cancer, and her mum passed away, and she was so worried that her daughter would get cancer that she was literally projecting that onto her daughter. So her daughter was starting to have some of these health issues until we cleared that energy. And it's like the mother and daughter energy was almost like it was entwined, like they were so connected to each other, not in a healthy way. So we definitely had
I mean, the mothers are always going to be entwined with their children, but what you're talking about sounds like it's extreme. Like, it's more than just DNA connection, that mother-daughter bond, or mother-child bond. It was really like they were each other. They were each other. Yeah.
Exactly.
Brilliant. And so how about our viewers? Anything you want to share about your experience with fallen or entities? Is it a big deal for you? Are you, did you initially have some fears when you learned that these were a thing and they could come up in healings, right? Because I know, at least when I teach basic, I try to couch it as like, okay, like, this is, it's just another thing, right? You don't have to give it a whole lot of power, a whole lot of energy, and make it like get all like whipped up about it. But some people really, really are having a lot of fears about, just even knowing that it's a thing, let alone like, oh my God, I might meet them, I might have to deal with them. They just don't even want to know.
Yeah. And I also say to people when I'm teaching is always trust that Creator will send you the people that you have the ability to deal with. So, when I started theta healing, like almost 10 years ago now, I was dealing with people that didn't have too much crazy going on. It was stuff that I was easily able to learn, that maybe challenged me a little bit, but in a way that I could manage. Whereas the people that I work with now, man, if I had have got them when I first started out, I would have shut up shop and said, no, thank you, that ain't for me. But now I love it. I enjoy it. It's so much fun. And then to see the change that you can help create in people is amazing. But yeah, always trust Creator will send you the people that you have the ability to deal with, even if you might not think you do to start with, because we do get challenged sometimes, but that challenge is about inspiring us to something greater,
Yeah. And also, healers, like, who's your go-to for this sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Because like Keryn and I, we've got one another's backs when the really weird stuff hits the fan, right?
Yeah. You've got to have that.
Yeah.
You cannot do this alone. And it's interesting because years ago when I started out as a healer, I was very much on alone. I had a belief system. I have to do it all alone, and all of these other crazy beliefs. But as I became a better healer, and as I started reaching out and collaborating more with other healers, and met Colleen and a couple of other ladies that I work with, I realized how much of a contribution it is for me to give to other healers and for other healers to give to me. And if you're going to be doing this work professionally, you absolutely need to have someone who has your back, so that when you have a moment, when you have something come up for you, that you have someone that you can reach out to, because otherwise you're setting yourself up for a lot of difficulty. You really need to be able to reach out and share and contribute and collaborate with others.
Yes. Awesome. So Jennifer has something to share. I'm going to show her last one. It says, learn not to mind. But, her longer comment was that, she had been a medium her whole life, and it scared her a little, at first, but not as much anymore, especially since she learned theta healing. So she knows how to remove the bad ones. Like, and that is one of the great things about theta healing, is that it's so easy. It's so easy and it's so fast. You don't even really have to interact with them. Like Creator will just be like, yep, that's what this is. This is a lower vibrational energy. And you're like, oh, okay, Creator, like, go do your thing. Take care of that, please. Awesome.
Yeah. And that's it. The idea is not to interact with them, because that's not going to be a beneficial conversation. It's like, recognize it, boom, get rid of it. No. And the other thing is, and this is something you learn through theta healing as well, is that some of these beings, especially fallen and stuff like that, if you ask creator for the name to clear it, they actually have to go. So once you identify one of these beings and ask them to leave, they actually have to leave. It's like a universal law. And so when you enlist creator to help you do that, that gives a little weight and a little sort of power behind that command as well.
Right, right. And Hannah says, yeah, theta healing made it so much easier and low stress, right?
Absolutely.
And yeah, because we're not using our own energy to do this. We're not
Yeah.
going to battle. We're just like, we're piloting the drone from behind the the field lines. We're just like, hey, creator, go ahead, go out, search and destroy. You got it. And we just watch.
Yeah.
We just witness. So
exactly. And here's, speaking of witnessing, maybe you guys watching can pop in the chat. How do you see these beings? So I used to kind of think that fallen and demons were similar, and it was just a different, like, theta healing calls them fallen, demons are, they're called demons by someone else. But as I actually started to witness these healings, I realized that they actually were quite different. And so to me, the fallen kind of have a human-like structure in sense of 2 arms, 2 legs, and to me they kind of have this fine bluish outline around them, which is just how my mind sees them, not necessarily how they are. Whereas demons are more creature-like, and they're smaller. The fallen are much bigger. So that's how I perceive them. So do you guys see these things at all, whether it's actually you're having visuals or just as part of a witnessing a healing? What do they look like for you? So
or what do they feel like, right?
Or what do they feel like? Yeah.
Because for me, the fallen feel much bigger than the entities. Yeah. And the entities, they look like they're coming out of a creature shop of some special effects warehouse sometimes. For
the demons? Do you mean
the entities? The entities. Oh, the entities and okay. Demons. Yeah. Yeah. Whereas the fallen, I don't so much see them as much as feel them. And so they've got like a bigger, almost like more important, like I'm even, putting my chest on, like they've got a lot of self-importance.
They're almost like warriors, aren't they? I remember one time I had this fallen and it was sitting in a chair with one leg crossed over the other knee, almost like, for those of you who know the Emperor Tarot card, specifically in the Druidcraft Tarot, I think he has his leg sort of sitting on his knee, his leg crossed over his knee. Anyway, that kind of sort of powerful position. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. It's sitting down. And so I cleared that energy, and then it wasn't gone. And I thought, this is really good. I mean, this is really weird. I keep clearing it and it's not moving. I think that's one time when I actually called you, Colleen, said, hey, have a look at this, see what's going on. But it wasn't just one. There was like hundreds of them. And as I cleared one, another one would show up, and I'm just thinking it wasn't leaving. Colleen's like, no, hang on a minute. There's actually a lot of them there.
Oh, yeah. So, it was literally a legion of fallen.
That's right. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, crap. I was a creator. Do I need to, like, I don't know how many, like, are in a legion, right? Like, I'm like, it's definitely some sort of, like, military group. I was like, do I need to name all of them? Do I need the goddamn muster roll? Like, what's going on here? And luckily, I was able to just, name the legion and witness that. But God, there were a lot of them.
We've got some interesting comments here. So Jennifer says they all look different to me. People look like people, fallen, and such look like a shadow monster. That's actually quite a good terminology. And Hannah says, interesting. I see demons as creatures, like with many arms, tentacles, fallen, and entities more human-like. Yeah, cool, excellent. So, well, there we are, guys. I hope that's kind of opened up some of the. Oh yeah, that's my favorite deck. Mine too, Jennifer. I love the Druidcraft Tarot. So, all right, let's finish off today. I think that's been an amazing
Yes, and
conversation
thank you
with
so
everyone.
much all for showing up live, for
Yeah.
commenting, for being a part of the show. We love your energy. It's been really fun to bounce off of all of you. This has been amazing, and I hope that you'll be able to join us in 2 weeks' time. We're going to be back here. We are actually going to be at a new time because here in the United States, we're finally changing the clocks. We're falling back, so we'll be an hour earlier Eastern Standard Time, but we'll be at the same time Adelaide time, and that is going to be on Wednesday the 17th in the evening, or Thursday morning the 18th for Australia. And we'll be talking about creating community with other theta healers, because that really is sort of how this particular show, what that grew out of, right? Keryn and I were talking to one another. We were already having these conversations, and we're like, hey, let's just do a podcast and connect with other healers. So we hope you can join us for that one. And so just to wrap up, Keryn, what do you have coming up next? Oh, okay, Jennifer says, awesome. Yes, awesome. Awesome.
All right, so coming up, I have a manifesting class at the end of this month. That's if you're in Australia, if you're in Adelaide. And I have a basic class early in December. But just a little FYI, I will be teaching online next year. Yay! So I love teaching in-person classes. Like, I just love it. But I've just realized it's time to get out of my little box. And I will be doing some
and into the internet box.
Yeah, into the Zoom box. Yeah. So I will be doing that next year. So stay tuned for that for those who are interested. And Colleen.
Oh, and don't forget to buy her book. Don't forget to buy Secret Healer's Business by Keryn Lee. Available everywhere where books are sold now. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. If you have a copy, thank you for buying a copy. Let us know that you've got it, and do the reviews, all the things, right?
And for those who are new, you can get it from Amazon, or you can also go to secrethealersbusiness.com. Is that there somewhere?
Yep.
There we go. You can also go there, and there's a numerous options for purchasing it as well. And also, if you want to just get if you want a signed copy or something, you can just contact me, just email me, and we'll work that out. So it'll be a little bit for postage for the States though, but if you're in Australia, it'll be a lot easier. So yes, Colleen, what you got coming up, hun?
Perfect. So yes, so I have a Dig Deeper class coming up next weekend. It's online. So the 13th and 14th of November, let's get together. Let's clear your crap. You know the drill. And it's tons of fun, right? It's 2 days of healing, 2 days of practice, and you just feel amazing afterwards. I today have just decided to add a basic class online for mid-December. It's so new, I don't even have it listed yet. So if you're interested in that, drop me a line. If you want a refresher on basic, that's amazing as well. But that'll be going up in the next couple of days. And then, of course, we've got the Healathon. I know a number of you who are watching are participating in the Healathon. I've heard about the Healathon. So that is coming up on Friday, November 19th, and that's Eastern Standard Time. So for you guys in Australia, that's actually happening for you guys on Friday, the 20th of November, on that Saturday.
I think Saturday's the 20th.
Yeah, Saturday's the 20th for you guys, right? It's a 12-hour event. So and I'll be giving a speech. I'll be speaking about the magic of time. So that's happening at noon Adelaide time on Saturday the 20th. It's 8:30 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time. And then, so you just get your general admission ticket. You can come. You can join any and all of the speakers. But I assume that because you're here for Two Unholy Healers, you want to see me speak if I'm speaking, right? And you can also book a mini session with me as well. So that'll be going on from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. is when my sessions are happening. And thank you, Amy. Thank you so much for the little heart. And then to convert to those of you who are in Adelaide, so that my availability for sessions during the Healathon is Saturday the 20th from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. on that Saturday. And of course, if you're on my list, if you're following me on social media, you'll be seeing updates on all of that as well. And you can also check out the website, healathon.com. I was like, I know I've got a banner for that. There we go.
There it
So
is.
yeah, thanks for letting me say all the things about that. And thank you again so much for joining. This has been delightful. I love that you guys make the commitment to show up live, and we hope that you'll be able to come back again.
Yes, we're so grateful that you've been here and you've been participating and sharing with us. We really appreciate that. If anyone has any questions or any ideas for topics coming up in the future, feel free to reach out.
And if
Catherine
you're
says, thanks,
watching,
Lay. Oh,
yeah.
Catherine's just saying she was in the car, so she couldn't comment, but she enjoyed the show. Thanks, Catherine. Appreciate it. Always
Yes.
love your energy adding to the show. And yeah, so is
Yeah, if
that
you're
it,
watching the
Colleen?
replay, if you're watching the replay, make sure
Yeah,
you leave us a like, let us know in the comments, because we do read the comments as well too on the replays. And I know we
absolutely.
got a lot of people who do watch the replays as well. So yeah, brilliant. Sorry to talk over you, Keryn. I was just so
No
excited.
worries. All right. So thanks again, guys, and we will see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.